Support for this podcast comes from the patrons at patreon.com/FMLFPL. Okay! Welcome to FMLFPL Milan.
That's Walsh.
Episode 500.
It's a little Prezi Day episode here.
President's Day lining up with episode 500. Couldn't think of a better day.
Yeah.
Celebrating our presidents.
I think this is like year 10 for us. 11?
Yeah, I think
something
so.
like that.
I think so. I think we were definitely... Were we potting in the fucking Suarez year? Or is that... No,
2013?
I think that's the year before we started. So yeah, I think our first season was 14-15, which means, yeah, this is the 10th season.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Boom.
How many players have over 500 home runs?
I don't know, like 8 or something? 3?
Well, we're one of them now. 500 thong.
Yeah. How you doing, dog?
I'm good. I'm chilling. How about you?
I'm good. You know, still settling in here. Tomorrow's Big Fridge Day.
Oh my God.
Big Fridge Day.
Walsh has been living fridgeless for like 4 weeks.
Lenny, the Russian repairman, will be visiting my house for a third time, hopefully this time with all the parts required to fix the enormous built-in fridge that has not worked since we moved in here.
Oh my God.
We're hopefully cooking with gas tomorrow.
Refrigeratorless Perry.
Yeah.
Refrigerless in Seattle. I couldn't think of which one I like better.
Yeah. So that's all I really can concentrate on. My little goldfish brain. But
that's fair. We got congrats from Jeff M and Mike on our 500th episode. We got a weird request from Dan. He said, not a question, more of a request. Any chance of rerunning Pod 1 to celebrate episode 500?
Rerunning it? Just go listen to it.
Just like republishing. It'll be less than worthless. So such bad quality, such bad podcasting. But
first actual episode. I would actually be kind of interested to hear that. Maybe I will go back and listen to it.
I'm curious. Yeah, maybe I'll splice in a little clip of it right now. Hey, this is FMLFPL. I'm Milan.
I'm Walsh.
This is our first episode. We're going to go through team by team, starting with Arsenal through Liverpool, and then next week, finishing the rest off.
Yeah, we're probably going to try and get a weekly recording to start off preseason stuff. We'll go through all the players and their outlooks for the season. And then after that, we'll probably get more into maybe our teams or ownership percentages and things like that before game week 1. Then once the season starts, we'll try and get maybe a Tuesday or Wednesday recording, recapping the weekend, transfers in, transfers out, things like that. And it should be great.
Should be genius. Enjoy.
Oh,
God. All right.
Okay.
Let's not get carried away. You're feeling your oats here on the episode 500 day, huh?
I'm an editing professional.
You're going to post-edit, pre-edit, post-doc.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Post-op, the pre-op.
So what are we chit-chatting about today?
Well,
what are we talking about?
I hate this point in the season when there is no end to any game week ever. And every time we talk, there's caveat, there's more season more fucking game week left, so we don't know the bonus points.
Freudian slip there.
Yeah, we don't know the fucking anything yet, but here's Team Walsh. You're cooking.
I mean, I have a red arrow, so I don't know how much that is the case.
Yeah, that's surprising to me, to be honest.
I mean, it's always nice when I'm not benching points. I got to be honest. There is a very...
You made very right calls.
Yeah, there's a very perverse thing about not benching points, but... Yeah, I'm glad I got rid of Gackening. It sounds like he's going to just be straight up out for the DGW.
Yeah.
So
what'd you do again? You took a hit, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're not living if you're not hitting. That's how the chickens are, right?
That's what the chickens are saying.
I got Django Unchained in for Tim Arugbanamanoms, and I did Ollie in for Gakpo. So bang,
Beautiful.
Bang, goal. Easy.
So 53 as of now, and you still have mocap, who everyone has, and you have slot. That's it, right?
And Ollie.
Oh, and Ollie. Duh. Yeah, Ollie.
So I have a small opportunity to get a very small green arrow, which is would be make my life worth living.
You should win your cup match. I'm looking right now. You're up 53-48. He has Rogers and Gakpo versus your Ollie.
Yeah, that would be a surprise if I...
You should win that.
Drop that.
Yeah, actually, I did not look at who he has first on the bench. I did not look at that. That could be problematic for you.
Tell me it's João Contra.
Watch it be Chris Wood or something.
Oh, dear.
Oh, God. Not like that.
Are you checking? Or
yeah, I'm live checking.
Oh, okay.
This is great. This is how you get to 500 episodes, folks. You fucking don't prepare and you fucking talk to your friend.
Tell me it's Lewis Hall.
It's his Mylasar. So 2 points coming in.
Fuck off. Sorry.
Yeah, so you're up 53-50. He has Rogers. You have Ollie. You got to win that.
Yeah, I could lose, but we're fine.
You could lose. But yeah.
You can't win your own cup anyway, so it's do you ever win?
We're just obstacles for the,
we're obstacles.
For the bad guys.
Yeah. We're like round one bosses, though. We're no end boss.
Yes.
We're like the easiest one in Mario Castle or whatever. You go to Ludwig's Castle.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Derek is lurking in the next level if you get by us.
Derek's like the Bowser with 8 heads or something. Fucking Hydra
8
Bowser.
Cocks ready to ass man up your ass.
8 cocks up everyone's ass. All right.
I'm on 49. I rolled.
You saved.
Yeah, I saved. I'm on a 100K red. Not terrible. I still have Trent, Rogers, Mocap, and Slot. So I could still... Well, I don't even know what the fuck a green arrow would be, but I could get more points.
How about that Trent bank? That was a fortuitous. He
started the season by banking some cleans. Remember that Bradley sub was like every game, 60, 70. And I was like, this is fucking amazing. So maybe it's back. I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah, my cup matchup is very close as well. The fucking psycho I'm up against has Jota, which is just a very scary wild card who could fuck me. He has Ollie and Emery against my basically just Slot because we both have Mo and Trent. So dicey.
Yeah. Dicey. Very dicey. All right.
But yeah, I mean, I was thinking back to my, as you see, another Wissa blank there. Back-to-back blanks for him. Back-to-back blanks for Rogers.
Yeah.
And the sacrificial lamb that, before I got those guys was Wood, who's pretty good.
Does a back-to-back blank.
He has 26 points in his last 2. So I'm down many points, about 19 points, not even counting the value of 2 frees on that double move.
That's a lot.
So
it's a lot.
Not ideal. Not ideal.
No, not ideal.
Pickford gets me 5 saves. I would almost rather my keeper just get me 0 saves than 5 saves. It's so annoying.
I don't know about that.
It's so annoying. It's just...
Every point counts.
I know, but just right there. You're right there from a fucking 4-pointer, which I count as a return. Couldn't go for me.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you going to do?
As usual, no league updates. We're in the middle of a game week. Let's go on. Let's talk about some shit.
Okay.
I guess we should start with Assman. I mean, we're both on Slot. We have to either hold Slot or make a transfer. I think we're both probably definitely making a transfer, and there's a lot of different options. We got some questions. Voltaire and Bantam said, for people on their last game week of manning the ass, is it worth using a transfer to go Slot to someone else? Any upside chasing worth the transfer costs? Mike said Glasner or McKenna. Jeff also looking for the upset bonus. Steve says, do we stick with Assman Moyes or swap him out? What are you leaning as of now? I feel like this is the hardest decision. Glasner?
I'm leaning doing it for Glasner. Yeah, I mean, if it was home, it would be really easy.
If it was home, it wouldn't even be a decision. Yeah.
Wouldn't be a decision. Yeah, I just feel like that's the one. I mean, you only get to do this once this year. I mean, next year, I guess we'll get to do it every fucking week since it's just a gambling game. It's not even FPL next year. But
yep.
The away is dodgy. But Fulham, they've been playing really well lately.
That's what I'm scared of. They've been in like red hot,
really good form. Yeah, but we've been. We got Wharton back. As they might, I'm hoping that Wharton and Eze both start.
Yeah.
And, we could catch them cold. Like,
yeah.
I feel, we haven't been playing that well lately, but I don't know. I feel like it's just worth the gamble for the 10 point, whatever the fuck the bonuses are. I don't even know what the points are worth, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, the table bonus options this week are Palace away Fulham, Leicester home Brentford, Ipswich home Spurs. What else am I missing? Southampton home Brighton,
Wolves.
West Ham at Arsenal. I'm forgetting
Wolves.
one, right? Oh, Wolves away Bournemouth. And Palace are just by far the best team out of all of those.
Well, they're the only good team of all of them.
Yeah, they're the only potential top half team of all of those.
Yeah.
The rest are like either probably getting relegated or finishing like 16th.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, to me, the Fulham Palace is like probably 60-40 Fulham win. Draw is still good. You know, when you get the table result, the draw is basically like winning if Slot wins. So,
yeah.
And, you know, you couldn't tell me like we win 2-0. I'd be like, oh, yeah, you know, we're basically just as good as Fulham. You know, I mean, we're like the same. It's kind of the same team. And, you know, maybe we catch them on an off day. So I'd rather, you know, I don't think the McKenna shouts, I think that's insane.
Well, I liked it before these last 2 weeks. Yeah, like they got Danso. He's a huge upgrade over not having a center back. Like, Tell looks good. Yeah, they're getting fit. You know, I'm just like, nah, I'll pass on that. And you can't go Southampton, I don't think. They're just too fucking bad. Yeah. I don't think you can go Potter at Arsenal. Like that, the gap is too wide there, right? So we're slowly like eliminating a lot of the options. I mean, yeah.
I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind just doing nothing though. If you don't feel that convicted, and there's the blank and the doubles and blah 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 blah. Like
and just holding Slot. You mean?
Yeah, just holding Slot.
I mean, I think the upside is very low with Slot. Like in my head, I don't have it fully thought out. I want either a fucking banker. Yeah. I expect this team to absolutely win very, very, very strongly, or I want the upside chasing. And so, like, to me, Slot is neither this week. And if you want to go the safe option and you don't trust any of these teams, which is, I think, totally viable, especially, like you said, Palace not at home. I think Arteta is like just the safe option. And West Ham just do nothing.
Yeah, they don't do anything.
They just pass around the back, play. Yeah, or Iriola too. They're in great form. Yeah. They look good. And I think that's fine. You know, like a heavy favorite win based on the 2 game weeks of this chip existing is somewhere between like 8 and 12 points. Like that's fucking good, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like for the 1 week punt, like when you're using a transfer, I'd rather just keep Slot probably than get someone who I'm thinking is going to get like 8 or 10. Because even if Slot, like, he'll get a couple points if they lose, whatever, they get a couple goals. I don't know. So like you're basically using a transfer for hoping to bank like something like 6 points.
Yeah,
week.
It's like using a transfer on a clean or something like that. Like it's not something that we would normally do.
Yeah, and then it's evaporated into thin air, and you get your money back, and you're still with 1 franc free. So
so you think it's worth going for the 20-pointer, basically?
Yeah, I think you got to go for it if you're going to spend the transfer. It's kind of what the point of it is, I think. But
I mean, how about Milv with back-to-back fucking bonus dogs? Milv has so many goddamn points.
Yeah. I mean, it's
18 and 18 back-to-back for Milv.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah, I mean, the highs are obviously 21, 20, 18, whatever. And also, more than 50% of them get 0 or 1 point.
Yeah.
That's been the 2 weeks of data we have. That's kind of where it comes down on. I'd so much rather go home team. I just don't know if I have the fucking stomach to take like Ruud Van Nistelrooy, who fucking sucks, and Leicester fucking suck. It's just so brutal.
Yeah, that's like you're 10%ing, and it's ridiculous, I think, to do something like that.
I'm not ruling it out, though. I'm not ruling it out.
Okay, all right. Well, you might throw a wild card in here for yourself on this, but for me, I'm gonna just, and I'm.
Well, for you, it's like a double.
It's easy. Yeah,
bonus.
It's more fun.
Yeah.
Like, I got to have a little bit more skin in the game for my team this week after we didn't do so great this week against Everton. But so I think I'm pretty sure I'm going to just do Glasner and let that ride and enjoy that one.
I just know this is the exact type of thing that I'm going to bring up on Thursday again, on Thursday pod. Like, this is the type of thing where I'm going to think all week about it and be like, which which one of these guys is going to get a 20-pointer and the others are probably going to get 0 or 1 point.
Yeah.
And I have to find the 20-pointer. And I'm going to be like really hunting that down. And I'll probably get a 0 or 1 pointer because you're betting on underdogs.
Yeah, you're going to talk yourself into something. But I mean, the good news is you only have about 5 options. It's not like you have the whole player pool.
No.
So you'll get there.
I'll figure one of them out. I agree with you that like going the ultra safe option, it just doesn't seem that worth it. I mean, I feel like Arsenal with no striker, all that shit, like what are they going to win 2-0? It's a lot of points. It's good. But like that's not really that effective use of a transfer if it transfers 4 points. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Yeah, that was quick.
Okay.
Should we talk about some forwards?
I think we should talk about City.
Yeah, well, let's talk about City. Let's talk about Holland. Let's talk about Marmoush.
Yeah.
Talk about anyone else. So I guess the question for me to you is when is the most opportune time to jump on them, do you think? Because their schedule's a fucking mess, kind of.
I think just after the Liverpool game.
Just straight up, just get them in for 3 days rest Spurs.
Yeah. Because this is the kind of thing that you can talk yourself into waiting till like some fucking made up precise time and then you lose all these points because they look like they're kind of resurgent and maybe back. And, this is one where I would like to be a little bit earlier to the well than, wait and see it. But, I mean, this to me was the best performance of the season that I recall.
By far.
I haven't watched all their Champions League games and, I mean, they had a couple, I think, in the group stage that they, rolled teams, but in the league anyway. Yeah, right. I mean, they looked so good against Newcastle.
They were fucking amazing. And Newcastle was so bad. And I think this is the most wrong I've been about one single game of a season. Like, I felt so good, rightfully so, about Newcastle putting up 2 or 3 goals. And they had 3 shots total and never came close to scoring. City conceded the least amount of shots in the Prem or Champions League since Game Week 8 home Wolves. And least amount of XG in Prem or Champions League since Game Week 2 against Ipswich. Pretty fucking good. Nico Gonzalez, baby. I mean, he filled a giant, massive hole in the team.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's reductive to just say that like putting him in front and shielding and doing all the things is the reason why, but it was certainly a big reason why they improved so much.
Yeah.
It certainly helped, but I mean, they looked like they had some balance back and they had, Stones makes a big difference. And I mean, Newcastle, they made it really easy. They were just abject. They were just so bad. They were just playing man to man and then they were just getting destroyed. And it was
Trips and Hall have recurring nightmares. And
I mean, it was on Edward. To me, it was really a lot on Edward, but I mean, no Joelinton was a big deal. And Willock was just unbelievably bad. He basically just didn't play. I mean,
I'm happy
down a man with him.
He ripped him off and ripped Trips off at halftime, but it still wasn't enough to even like lay one punch. Like they really just had nothing.
Yeah, and I mean, I am a little bit concerned about them because I mean, they're not going to play Man City all the time, but I mean, Joelinton wasn't, I usually when he misses a game, I'm like, oh, he must be yellow card suspended, but he's hurt. He's not coming back next week. So
is he long-term hurt? I don't know the news on it.
I don't know. I think he's like a month or something. The FPL page says March 10th, but I don't know. It's
kind of soon, but
it's like about a few weeks or something like that. But you could definitely tell me that their team is as brittle as like losing the balance with having Joelinton means like it's a house of cards.
Absolutely.
And they have no replacement, and now they're just kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Because now Tonali and has to do the job of 3 players instead of 2, and I still don't really know what to make of Bruno G, honestly.
I mean, I know he's great, but it's hard to know, what the best position is a little bit. Yeah, like he clearly isn't great at being the deepest guy, and that was the big change to when they started playing well was Tonali's the deepest guy. But I mean, he certainly didn't make any sort of actions in that game of note at all. I mean, they couldn't really get near any of City's. It felt like vintage City. It was just like, they're just Newcastle can't touch the ball. Newcastle can't press them into mistakes. They can't do anything. You can't even get the ball, period. I mean, it certainly piqued my interest in terms of like Vard too, maybe like 3 weeks ago, I was like, absolutely not. They're one of the worst defenses in the league, and that was true. And we might just be like that close to being like, well, all of a sudden they're going to keep 65% possession and have someone who can make 100 accurate passes. Like that makes a big difference to the defense all of a sudden. So
yeah. Yeah, they could be back on the menu, defense for sure. And,
it might be a triple up. I mean, Holland, Marmouche, Gvard sounds pretty fucking good, in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also interested in Sav. Like
Sav looks great.
Yeah, he's been playing really well consistently for a while now. It just seems like he found his feet, and he's got his kind of idea of what the league's trying to do against him. And he's not, at the beginning, it was really hard betting in, and he had some really rough performances, but he looks really good too. So he's only 6'2". Yeah, I mean, I think there's several viable options, and we'll have to see what happens in the RM game, because it would be good for the league, obviously, if they lose and they get knocked out. They're in like no other competitions, right? They just have the FA Cup or something.
Champions League,
yeah. So then they would just be putting it all in the league. I mean, well, what do you think about Marmouche and Holland? Like, you think it's both, or do you think it's one? I mean, do you think it's okay?
I mean, that was Yarborg's. I can't say his fucking name. His question. I was planning to get Holland for City's good run of fixtures, but is Marmouche just the better pick? And there's a little bit of me that's like, yeah, kind of. Yeah. Like he is kind of just the guy getting on the end of stuff, and Holland's just kind of the decoy a little bit.
Yeah, hold up, decoy, taking runners.
But it's I'm not really willing to take that like big step to being like, I would rather have Marmouche than Holland. I mean, we're coming off of games against Chelsea, Arsenal, Newcastle, and making those judgments. Like,
And Holland still returned in every game.
Yeah, and he's still returning in every game, and he still obviously has pens. And I'm like, I still don't really believe that, in home Leicester in game week 30, it's going to be like the Marmouche show, and Holland's going to get like one shot. I'm like, no, like Holland's probably to score a fucking hat trick, But yeah, I do think both is very viable. I mean, we've kind of been struggling with forwards all season, except for Wood owners. Isak is like, Isak and Newcastle are maybe hitting a rough patch. Also have NFO and Liverpool and West Ham before a blank. They're really bad. I mean, Mateta keeps scoring every game somehow. But there's not that many forwards that I would put ahead of either of them right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, the fixtures, I think you're right. It's probably just after Liverpool. It just feels not that tidy, being like, all right, get them after Liverpool. They've 2 days off before they're away Spurs, who maybe are playing a bit better, and then NFO, who are tougher for most teams. But yeah, it's probably just the right thing to do.
Well, it's, I think the Liverpool game will help nudge us one way or the other, because, it doesn't take much for me when I watch City to think like, okay, they're back. And, one performance like that where everything's kind of humming, and, he has a few of the new boys in, and it looks like they're developing an understanding and they're actually good. And it's not just, the corpse of Kovacic running around, or the corpse of Kevin De Bruyne running around, or the corpse of, Gundogan didn't play, but, he was being hidden very capably, and his running was being done for him by the others. So, I just feel like we have to sort of make those quicker judgment calls with City. And, I think triple up is on the menu.
It is. It is.
Yeah. Sooner.
And they have a lot to play for. I mean, they are not safe in the Champions League at all. There's like 4 chasing teams. They need to keep winning.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one. I also don't know, just look at my team, like where exactly am I going to make the money? Which I guess kind of might segue some people to Palmer, because he keeps price dropping, and he blanked again, and Chelsea were absolutely fucking awful. Etheridge said, I want a Chelsea player for the fixture on. You guys shouted in Cuckoo on Friday Night Live, but he did fuck all. Is it still in Cuckoo time, or is there a better option? And then Mike responded as a Chelsea fan. He said, it's Palmer and nothing else. The team form's so bad. The team is broken right now. I mean, what are you making of Chelsea right now? They're in such a bad moment.
Yeah, I still feel very fine to just hold Palmer just because I think he's good and he's that good. And he's got every avenue. He's still taking corners. He's still, he has pens and he's just everywhere on the pitch for them. So I think that, but the Nkunku is, that didn't bode well. It didn't hold up well.
It didn't materialize.
Yeah, it didn't materialize. And, maybe he's just been so off it for too long to just step right in and, be what we hoped he could be. So for me, it is still just Palmer. And I'm happy to hold, and I'm not considering getting rid of him, but I don't see any other picks in the team. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I was watching Nkunku really closely, and he ends the game with, I think, one shot. Which is not ideal, obviously, but I thought he played relatively well. He just didn't get the ball a bunch of times when he was making really good striker runs. He'd be wide open in the box for a cutback. Didn't happen. And, it's not surprising when it's like Madueke and Neto and Sancho and fucking these guys trying to pass to him. But I do believe that, when they're watching the tape back of that game, that will be highlighted and be like, you have to pass to Christopher here. He's fucking wide open in the middle of the box, and that's a good chance for a goal. But at the same time, when teams are losing, it's usually not the best time to jump on not nailed assets. Even though, Madueke is hurt, I think he'll probably start again. But it's usually not the best time because you don't know what changes the manager's going to make. Like, for all we know, fucking Enzo's going to be out of position false nining, and he's going to be happy with that, or like some crazy ass shit.
I mean, let's not get carried away here. I think it's his position, but for a while. But
even that game, he wasn't really number 9.
Yeah, he was like he was pulling wide.
Yeah, they did like a fucking. I'm not like a tactics blackboard pervert, but like it was sort of like 4-2-4-0. And there was no striker, and Nkunku, Palmer, Madueke, and Neto would all kind of take turns making like the diagonal run into the box. And it wasn't like, it obviously didn't work. It was absolutely horrible. He got it completely wrong. But I'd still like to see Nkunku play actual striker before I go there. But I do believe that he will get returns if he does get the start there. So I'll be keying in on him big time. I'm really happy that they're like a lone game away Villa this week, so we can just all watch on TV and just hyper focus on what they're doing, because after the Villa game is when they fucking home Southampton, home Leicester back to back, and all I need to see is like a little glimpse of like Nkunku got 3 shots and he didn't score, but he was in the right spot and Chelsea played pretty well. He's in my team. That's all I need to see for those.
Spike like a 25 points in those 2 games or something, which is possible.
That's it. Yeah, it's very possible. So it's very much still on my mind.
Okay.
But certainly not a buy this week. Away Villa, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm a little bit more cold water on that. Yeah. I think there's just a lot more competition for places now all of a sudden with the Bournemouth guys and the way that they've been looking.
I know it sucks he's in mid. So. I wish he was a forward so badly.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if we can find room at the inn for Nkunku, but Chelsea look fucked. But no, I'm still happy to hold Palmer.
It's so crazy that they were like title race 2 months ago with a chance to like go top of the table, and now they're like maybe gonna make Champions League. Outside looking in Champions League.
There was never a title race here, so.
But I just mean in terms of like the table. Like if they won a couple more games, they could have been actually in first place, even though maybe they would have fallen away.
If your aunt had a dick, then she'd be your uncle.
If your aunt had 70 points, she'd be in first place. Let's talk about some forwards. And Parma said JP to Cunha. Is that a no-brainer? Jonathan, Gakpo out to Cunha, Wood, or Marmoush. Who do you like? And then Jeff D, what to do with Isak, worst pick in the game?
What is going on with the Cunha affection again? Or we're just back on like Groundhog Day here?
Well, he's back playing like he was playing before. He had like a really rough spell with the transfer window and all that shit, and he missed some games for not injury reasons. And after this week, they have a long, good run. They kind of got a lot of their brutal fixtures out of the way. Yeah. I mean,
it's Wolves.
Yeah, I know. But like, you can still have a good run. I'm not saying Wolves are going to win all the games, but you can still have a good run.
Everton don't lose anymore. They're fucking amazing. Fulham are way better than them.
Fulham still concede. Southampton concede. West Ham concede. And it's hard to make up a better run than that, honestly.
Well, they don't play Leicester, so
they do play Ipswich, though. They play Ipswich and Southampton. And they do play Leicester even in 34, their home Leicester. Like, if you look longer term, I do think Cunha's a good option. Long-term hold.
Oh, my God.
We were wrong with him the first time, and I feel like I've learned my lesson.
Don't be wrong again. Don't be on the wrong side of history a second time.
I mean, to simplify things, which is something that I like to do, he ticks every fucking box imaginable. He shoots for fun. He takes set pieces. He's the main man. He creates all their chances, scores all their chances.
Yeah.
Nailed. It's just pens. It's literally every box. So.
Okay. So maybe is optimal front three Haaland, Cunha, and Isak?
Marmouche.
Is Isak out?
I don't know. I want your thoughts on that too, because
wait, I'm not ready to move on from Cunha yet.
Okay. What else do you have to say about him?
Well, I'm not sure I've learned the lesson, because I still watch them play and I'm like, this team fucking sucks, and he's just making random subs.
They didn't
and I don't know who half the players are.
They didn't suck against Liverpool. You watched that game.
I think they kind of did suck. I think Liverpool were just that bad. Like, I don't think it was because Wolves were playing well. I think it was just because they couldn't pass to a teammate. And it wasn't because Wolves were just swarming or doing some tactically innovative thing, or like they had individual performers who were just like OP. It was just like, wow, this is one of the worst performances I've seen Liverpool in months.
Yeah. I mean, I think Wolves weirdly do this to a lot of teams, because they play with like 8 central midfielders.
No defenders.
Just block everything and are pretty good at passing and pretty good at holding the ball. Yeah, and then like defending in the box is tough and scoring in the box is tough, because they also play with no striker. But, Cunha takes fucking 4 to 8 shots every game, and he's really good at tracking the ball. And he takes their corners and he tries to Olympico every fucking game. And he takes their pens.
His shots are just always bad shots from fucking Paul Land, though. I just don't
but if you take 8 of them,
I know, you should miss them all. But you should miss them all. That's what I'm like. What's happening? Like, I don't understand. He's like absolutely miles above his XG on the season. Like, how does he keep getting away with it? Like,
I mean, he's not going to do what he did. I mean, that for people who owned him in that period and he scored 9 billion points, if they don't recognize how much luck they had, like, they aren't opening their eyes. He's not going to score 19 points and score all these braces and shit. But I think he will consistently return and be good. Is
he better than Wood?
I can't believe Wood. I just don't know what to do with Wood.
Wood has the most points and most forward points in the game.
Is anyone better than Wood is the question. Is Haaland better than Wood?
No.
That was the luckiest bullshit goal against Fulham. His only shot of the game.
Dude, he's been doing that all year.
I know. Bounces off his back, controls it, shoots it directly into Bassey's chest, bounces off into the corner. Beautiful. Yeah, I don't know, man. Wood. I can't believe it. I can't condone it. I can't believe it. I don't want it. I'm just conceding. If Wood scores against Newcastle, Arsenal, City in a row, and he just gets 30 points in those 3 games,
you're not going to have those 30 points.
I'm not going to have any of those points. And I'm happy for the people who held him, because they're better at FPL than me. I don't know. I just can't. I cannot condone that.
Okay.
So, yeah, I guess long story short, I'd rather have Cunha. I don't know why people are getting him this week, but I guess part of that is the João Pedro problem of just they have home.
Problem.
Yeah, it's a big fucking problem, because they have Southampton and he's probably not going to start, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why he would start. He's clearly their best player, but also clearly bombed out because child baby head fraud is...
Yeah, Ruder did a better than Ladro impression of Ladro. He was fucking incredible.
Yeah,
Minte and Mitoma were incredible. Welbeck did a little bit of a good job, just kind of holding up and laying it off, and they played great. So,
yeah.
Reuter is so good. I mean, he's kind of just like a better Ladro, maybe, even though Ladro's really good.
Well, they're slightly different, but they should both be playing every game is the long and the short of it. Like, there's no reason why Welbs, Ladro, Reuter, and Matoma should not be playing every single game for them. I mean, they're never fit, but if they were fit, like, I think you just have to put the four best attackers and just make it work.
Yeah, maybe, but like,
because you want Minta or some shit, like,
I mean, they bought him for $40 million for a reason. He's been hurt most of the year, but if he puts in those kind of performances, then like, no, he should not
play
be
him
dropped.
too. Play them all.
Well, I don't know. You can't play that many attackers. You'll
they don't have any fit defenders.
Forest again.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's he can figure it out, I'm sure. Either way,
Ladro's probably not getting in after that performance. So
no, shouldn't get back in.
Getting rid and going someone like Cunha, even though it's a week early and he's away at Bournemouth, I'm totally fine with that. I mean, or even getting Marmoush early. Like, yeah, it's Liverpool, but they're home. Liverpool have been conceding goals. Like, it's fine.
Where does Mateta stack up in this ranking? Because he also just doesn't not return anymore. This is exactly what I did last year at this time of year.
Yeah. I mean, he's been doing it for a while now. Even though he's been looking kind of ropey, it's just like, Jesus, every game.
Yeah, 7, 13, 2, 13, 8, 8.
He's certainly on the list. I mean, he's certainly like
on the list.
There's a top 4-ish, and Mateta's on the list. He might be 4th. Just because of volume, but I'm not even that convinced of that. I don't know. I'm having a hard time separating these guys out, other than like Holland, who eventually I think we should all be planning to get back in. What about you?
Yeah, similar. I think the ranking them is really hard because there's so little to separate them. There's a lot of overlap. And I mean, I want to kind of just look at fixtures, but that also feels just sort of impossible to do because everyone seems to have the same fixtures when I look at it, honestly.
I know.
It's like there's only a couple good teams, and they, it's like we don't have enough transfers. Like we're now, really staring down the barrel of the gun with doubles and the blank. And, so I feel like it's almost like the players you have are the ones you're supposed to kind of give more time because like with like Isak, right? I mean, coming on, it's like, what are we going to fucking get rid of Isak because he blanked twice? I mean, that doesn't seem correct.
Well, if you're looking at fixtures, he would have the worst of all of them, right? He blanked twice. He has NFO, away Liverpool, away West Ham, blank.
Yeah. Then, if you're not free hitting in 29, then...
Yeah. Then he has home Brentford, away Leicester, and a home double in 32.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we're going to
and then Villa
all
home
want him
Ipswich,
immediately back.
Yeah. So that's where you look at it and you're like, well, okay, am I going to spend...
But maybe you just spend 2 transfers.
Yeah. I mean, is my team set up that I can spend a couple transfers? When am I wild carding? Like all of these things come into play.
Yeah. So, and they're all very individual to your team.
Yeah. And they're all very close. They're related. You will do a different thing with Isak if you're wild carding and, whatever, versus if you don't have your wild card or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I could see a world where people are wild carding in 30 or 31 with now that there's the Newcastle and Palace have a double in 32. I'm sure there will be more doubles after that. And it's like the week after a blank, you can like sort of refresh your team after you've gotten through the blank and sort of just get all the guys you want set up for a double or Assman or triple cap or whatever. Like I still have triple cap. I'm looking at, and it's probably Isak, right? Like home Man United, home Palace in 32, 2 homes. Like, sure. Yeah, I'll probably triple cap him then.
Yeah, sign me up.
So... how do you?
Yeah, because like for me, I mean, I haven't really thought too much about when I'm on a wild card, but the way my team looks, I mean, using the free hit in 29 makes a lot of sense for me because I have,
how many guys do you have?
I have 5 Newcastle and Palace and my only goalkeeper, so that that could work.
And
I could just kind of
you only have
Mo,
right? Only Liverpool.
Did Liverpool blank too?
Yeah, Liverpool are one of the blankers. Yeah, so
yeah, I only have Mo. So yeah, then that's 6. Like that's enough.
And
probably.
Villa blank, you have Ollie.
Well, I'm not going to have Ollie after. I'm sure I won't have Ollie by 29. But I mean, I could.
I'm just bringing it up for now, right? You'd have to You'd have to make a bunch of fucking moves
Yeah,
get
and I mean
9 or 10. I mean,
I might not get rid of Ollie. I don't know. I mean, he's on pens. Like he's
good.
Low key.
He could have scored a hat trick in that game.
Well, he always can. Yeah, he usually could have scored a hat trick.
I'd rather my guy could have scored a hat trick than not could have scored a hat trick. Is the bottom line.
Yeah, no. But I mean, yeah, maybe I will still have him. But yeah, I mean, the 29 looks like a good one for me to free hit. And then I can kind of figure out what to do after that. So I don't know.
Do you think you'd lean towards just holding Isak? Long term, you're just going to hold him?
I don't really want to be snapping when I have, like, I do think he's better than Ollie.
But what about, like, so we talked about Holland. Like, are you going to try and turn Ladro into Holland, do you think? Because you'd have to get rid of Mo or Palmer to get that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was really looking at the Ollie spot. That's going to be my Holland spot.
That'll be your Holland. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's really not hard for me to do that.
You almost probably have enough money, right?
I do have enough money once the slot money comes back in.
Oh,
I could just do Ollie to Holland for free, straight up. Yeah, which seems good.
Yeah, that's amazing, dude.
Yeah, so I mean, I could probably just do that, and maybe I don't know what to do with João Contrô. Figure it out later.
He might just like die on your bench until you wild card. I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, Gordon has also been pissing me off a lot. I mean, watching them and him play recently has been very.
I'm excited to transfer him out and get punished.
Yeah. I mean, I might hit him out this week. I don't know. I have to think about that one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to jump too far ahead to, Thursday, Friday My Life pod, which is usually when we do captaincy. Mm-hmm. But just looking at I mean, it's a really tricky captaincy week. And we were just talking about getting rid of Isak. I mean, he's an option.
I don't think so.
You think it's just Mo?
No, I don't think it's Mo either. I think it's like a rogue week. Yeah, I think I really think it's a rogue week.
I think Isak is kind of rogue. Like, I
just don't see that game as being like some open game where Newcastle are going to score a few. Like, I just cannot imagine that.
It's hard. It's hard to imagine, but Sells is making fucking 9 saves a game lately. Like, they are conceding tons of shots lately.
Yeah, that's true.
They just haven't been going in that much. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, maybe them getting found out a little bit, but I mean, off the back of that performance, I'm just
no. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think Bournemouth looks really good to me. I think Django or Clive are both really.
Yeah,
I think they're really reasonable options. I mean, as insane as it seems to be captaining like a 5 million fucking midfielder. I know. I mean, they're the only.
I've been thinking about Bumo, which also sounds insane. I mean, he back-to-back blanked. He's at Leicester.
Yeah, that's a bit crazy. Well, that is who I was looking at, thinking about getting in for piss hair.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, oh, this is exactly the time that he's blanked a few and people are doing the thing, and then now it's like, oh, I mean,
you say it's crazy, but you look again to his game lock about his relegation team. He has 14 versus Southampton, 15 versus Ipswich, 19 versus Southampton, and he blanked in the Leicester game. So 3 fucking mega hauls and a blank, and it's like, I mean, Leicester are absolutely diabolical.
Yeah, he's just been, he's all the midfield stuff lately, but he's still in and around it.
Yeah. I wish there was an Arsenal guy I felt good about capping, but
no, forget it. I mean,
it would have to be like Tross or something. It's like,
that's insane. I mean, you're looking at like a 60-minute guy or something. It's too iffy. But I mean, the Brenham game too. I mean, being away there doesn't feel great either.
Well, now that the fixtures are swapped, they just win all their away games. Like the myth of the home game away game was just who they're playing, and now they lose all their home games and win all their away games. Yeah,
because all the home teams are against the good teams. It was always it's the reverse.
So ridiculous. But
I mean, I think that Bournemouth is the only real home banker on the slate this week,
and Arsenal.
Yeah,
those are the only two. That's what we were saying in Aspen. It's the same thing. Yeah. Tough. Because even Bournemouth could score 3, and any one of those guys could blank. He could score 3.
I mean,
Clive could blank. Emmanuel could blank.
Could score them all.
Yeah, literally fucking Cook can score them. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. Well, yeah, we'll talk more about Cap next week. But yeah, forwards are also really, really tough. I guess we didn't really settle.
Ollie's an option.
Who are they again?
Home Chelsea.
Yeah. We'll get a better read of that after the Wednesday game. I expect them to play us really well.
Yeah, they might be a little too tired.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. So
Wednesday, Saturday.
But if they look good against us and Ollie scores again or whatever, that would give
Cap
more confidence. I don't know.
3 days when they have the week, you hate that.
And then there's like the other 50% of dead teams who are just like, obviously, I'm capping Mo, who just gets double-digit return every single game.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm looking at that as the maybe I'm just really overblowing the last City game, but I feel like
it's one game. They've played well one game.
Yeah, I just feel like, oh shit, like they're going to be good now, then I don't want to cap that.
I think they're going to be really, really up for it too. I think this is a huge game for like their personal pride and shit and be like, we're not going to get fucking destroyed like the Arsenal game. And like pre-Arsenal game, they're in the worst form of their fucking Pep's life. And I think he's like ripping his fucking eyebrows out to try and get any sort of form out of this team and maybe finally found something.
I mean, and they're also going to be on, a week rest, and Liverpool have played Villa in between. So they have that going for them, which is a little bit,
Yeah. But they have Madrid, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. They have that
Madrid.
Game.
So
they have that game. You're right.
Away Madrid is going to be tough. And, that could even go to extra time or something weird. So
they'll both be on similar legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Mo's obviously just the chalk, and he will be the most capped player. But
the best cap might be fucking Beto. Who knows, dude?
Yeah, right.
Oh,
but maybe it's like we're trying to talk ourselves into someone else, too hard.
Maybe.
And there isn't a good enough alternative option.
Obvious. That, like, usually in these weeks, there's 2 or 3 other guys who are like, well, I could go Saka, I could go Palmer, I could go Haaland. But there's no one remotely that good with a good fixture. It's a really like a punt or Mo, probably. Yeah. But I think he sucks a shout. I really do. I think he gets, obviously he got no shots and they were so bad against City. I don't expect that kind of performance again. I think NFO, make it easy to get a lot of shots and we just need a couple to go in.
And the Fulham game they lost was very strange. I mean, they could have won that game by multiple goals.
Really weird. Yeah.
Back at home. Yeah. And NFO are in a bad moment. Yeah. That's
NFO
definitely reasonable.
Just got fucking obliterated, caramelized by Fulham. Like that could have been way worse than it was. Okay.
All right.
There's that.
Tough cap week for sure.
Tough cap week. We didn't get that many questions. Let's do these questions and then see what else we want to do. Al said, is Marino a pick?
Yeah.
Striker Mikel Marino.
Yeah, I think it's a pick.
I had producer Nate at my house a mere hour ago.
Oh, wow. What are you guys up
and
to?
I said, but I said, Nate, is Marino a pick? And he said, well, out of position striker, best pick in the game. And then he laughed. And then he said, I actually don't think he's going to start next game. So,
not a pick?
Get fucked, Al. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Not a pick, I guess.
Who's he going to play? Is it a fucking play Raz again? No way.
Have to play Raz.
No, stop it.
Raz is too good.
Stop it. He's not going to play Raz again.
Wow, they have so many names in the game of random kids I've never heard of. Maybe he'll play Ismail Kabia or Salah Adine Ulad Mahand. They have a Salah. So, you never know.
So, what do you think Marino's going to be on the bench again?
I think that I have no fucking clue. Yeah. I mean, I really don't expect him to be a good striker. I think he's just kind of an emergency Fellaini, sub him on, maybe he'll win some headers kind of guy.
He reminds me a lot of Chris Wood.
Because he scores with every touch.
Yeah,
2 touches, 2 goals.
I mean, he just runs in a line and goes towards the goal, and the back post, front post, like they just find him. It's okay, do this.
I mean, it was Leicester. I mean, I don't know.
Well, it's not like they're playing fucking Liverpool next week.
I know, but Leicester's a new level.
Val Fash level of diabolicalness.
I think Nwaneri was legitimately fucking amazing, though. I mean, he's 4'5", taking corners, shooting at will, hit the bar. He could have easily double or even triple returned that game, and he's 4'5".
Yeah, if it was
insane.
game week 3, he'd be in every team. The way things look now, it's just like, who are you getting or what are you doing?
Well,
like,
also
what does your
their
team
run
look
is
like?
weird and kind of bad. And it's like, I could see a world
Champions
where like
League,
when
he's
people
15 years old,
when people wild card and maybe Arsenal have a double or some shit down the line a little bit, I could see him coming into teams. But yeah, right now it's kind of a tough sell. Yeah. Jonathan said, "Is triple Bournemouth too many?" It's not enough.
I mean, what are you talking?
It's not enough.
Talking a triple Bournemouth over here.
Yeah, you should be quadding up with Areola. I don't know. They're fucking. They're great.
The concession hurt this week.
So annoying, but it felt like it was coming. They came out really sleepy, and it was like, you can't do that. Josh B said, "Do I cash in on Lucho and move on, right? But to whom is a cherry's mid obvious?" So yeah, I mean, I'm glad I got that really right on the live stream with like, well, Gakpo's out, so Diaz is going to play left wing, so he's a good pick again. And everyone who held him got a double digit return. So good job by me, good job by them. But yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on Gakpo's health, I guess. Like Slot's usually very truthful in the pressers, so we'll know before game week 26 if Gakpo's fit or not. And he probably won't be because he's probably not going to be in the squad for the midweek game. So, I mean, Diaz kind of a fine hold for me, actually.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're okay to hold there and, either save or, look elsewhere. But, the 28 home Southampton game looms very large in this. And, the blank in 29, it also depends on what your team looks like and what you're up to. But, when you don't have, when you can save more than 2 transfers, like it's different, right?
This is actually like maybe the part of the season where we're going to feel the 5 frees the most. Because in previous seasons, if you're 2 frees, but you have like 6 blankers, you have to just start making moves or use your free hit. There's literally no other option. But you can just fucking chill and hold Diaz for 3 more games and then be sitting on 4 or 5 frees and be like, all right, yeah, it's the blank. Now I have 11.
Yeah, it's way different. I mean, you don't have to, you can dead end your team and then make 4 or 5 changes and not have, no one versus in the past, right? You have to get rid of your good assets well in advance of the blank so that you have at minimum, 3 blankers that you're putting on the bench and whatnot. So,
which is interesting because I obviously already wildcarded, but if you still have wildcard, which I think most people do, I think dead ending using 4 or 5 frees to get through the blank and then wildcarding after makes a lot of sense because get rid of your Liverpool, Palace, whatever, Newcastle guys, and then just get whoever you want back. Makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Okay.
With you on that one.
Okay. Wow, dude. I think that's most of it. Did we miss any big games or something? It was kind of a whatever week, right? I mean,
other than the City performance, I think everything else was pretty
chalky,
as expected. I mean, Man United still are fucking worst team in the league, basically.
Crazy.
I mean, the Brighton victory, it just felt like so long ago to the Friday night game, but I think the Brighton game was also surprising, just because Brighton have been just as abject of Chelsea as Chelsea have been, but not much to talk about. I guess, the Villa. I mean, we've been saying this about for actual, since
the Emery draw
October. The what?
Yeah, you're going to bring up Villa, right? Because I was saying Emery. A lot of people went Emery, and he gets the draw home Ipswich. Like fuck,
they were against fucking 10 men for an hour. I mean, the Ipswich had someone sent off in like mid first half.
They created a million chances, but they needed to create 2 million chances because it just wasn't enough. Yeah, Palmer made like fucking so many saves. It was crazy.
Yeah, Palm God, brother of Palm God.
Brother of Palmer. That's why you hold Palmer. It's somehow he only made 6 saves. I mean, it seemed like he made 9 fucking stunning saves.
There were several like offside saves.
Yeah,
that
and
don't count
like
as saves.
there were some
They
weird
love
like
that.
deflection bullshit ones where he had to like dive one way and then like get up and dive the other way for like some other shit. But yeah, I mean, the week is still so much in the balance because of the Liverpool Villa game. I mean, if Villa get a draw or win, the people who went Emery just get a fucking plus 10 to 20 points, and the people who have slot get like 1 point.
Yeah.
Versus if Liverpool just like comfortably win, it's plus 10 for us, and they get 0 or 1 point.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
It's a huge swing, and Liverpool are playing kind of badly lately, so I'm very worried.
Yeah, well, you know who else is playing kind of badly lately? Villa.
Aston Villa. Yeah.
Yeah, so it should be okay.
I feel like it's written somewhere that Rashford will score against us. Even when Man United were at their absolute fucking worst, he scored against us all the time.
Yeah.
But,
hopefully not.
Who knows?
All
right, brother. Episode 500, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
We're getting old, I guess.
Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Fuckle tomorrow. How's your team looking?
I don't know. I haven't checked it since last week.
What are the games tomorrow? Is City tomorrow? No.
I don't know. I
No,
haven't
they're
checked
not.
yet.
They're Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. Like it's weird when there's the league game overlapping at the same time as Fuckle on Wednesday.
It's so
too.
weird. I hate it.
Annoying.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I missed I was obviously watching Everton Liverpool last week, and I just didn't watch any Champions League games. I have one TV, and I was set up in front of it. All right, let me slap passes. We got 2 new signups: Daniel Weil and Leo Duty. Yes, baby, get in there. Any last words, dude? Episode 500.
Yeah, that was a good one. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Check us out. From Outfield Volunteers, Sports Repeat.com/subscribe, rate the future.